Hello and a warm welcome back to the channel. So this week I'm going to sort of update on what's been happening on the main layout development wise, and then we'll run a few locos. So to start with, I've got an update on these micro screws I'm going to use to fix my track down. Now this underlay that I use, it's really good. It's semi-soft and it cushions the track. Well, it's about 6mm thick. Now the sleeper base of the Super 4 varies, but sort of 2mm. So instead of track pins, I'm going to use these lovely micro screws which I've obtained from the internet. I'll get a couple in my hand and show you. So I've chosen 14mm long ones. So that's between 2 and 3mm for the track, 6mm for the underlay, which takes us up to best part of 9, and then about 5mm to go into the board. They're just under 1.5mm in diameter, so they fit perfectly through the holes already drilled in the or moulded in the Super 4. Beautiful little black Phillips heads there. And they're great, and it just means if you need to take a section of track out, rather than trying to pull out pins or damage the sleepers, you just unscrew them and work away. So I'm going to let you know how I get on with those when I start using them, but I really think they're going to be great. And I've got quite a supply in that bag there. Now, we talked about wiring up points the other day. So here's some of the terminals that I'm using. Now these are really designed for radio control model aircraft. Now they're 2mm plugs and sockets, and you can use both, and they solder really nicely. And as I mentioned in last week's video, we have indeed now got one operating point. Now I've temporarily wired it up, so let's just take a look at it. Here it is. And I'll just operate the switch now. One, two. Nice reassuring click. Now I'm using 4-core telephone wire. It's a solid core, so it's not that flexible, but it takes plenty of current. It's easy to route underneath the layout, and I will, when I do it properly, I will put a little bit of heat shrink on each of those joints and then blacken the wires. I'm going to use just standard Tri-ang switches. So here they are. Here's just a couple. I've screwed them up here just to show you. There's the one I'm using. Let's just come round to a different angle. These are fantastic because they even look like sort of something you might find in a signal box. So that's just, you can hear that click. So when it's in the resting position, it's for mainline running, and the points are set to the curve now in that position. So I'm just using the AC output from my controller, and no capacitive discharge units or anything. We're just going standard, and I think so long as the points are clean and everything's fine, you won't have any bother if you're doing it yourself. So that's the updates really. I've put a few more bits of replated track in. We've got all along the back and now right round these two radius, and on this side of the layout we've got the two curves by those horse boxes, and then the two long straights, and then we're going to start those curves next. So we're almost 3/5 of the way around the layout on the main lines. So anyway, I said we'd run a few trains, so let me just get the controllers switched on, and I think we'll start off with this little Doc shunter who's got an ambulance car on. Also today we're going to be running our freight train behind the English Electric Type 3, And then we've got a new passenger service on the layout. We've got the Flying Scotsman, complete with a rake of 5 Teak coaches, and some of the occupants of the coaches have decided they want their horses, so there's a couple of horse boxes at the back. Anyway, let me get the controllers set up and then we'll run some locos. Excellent, we're back again, controls are on, we're going to run some trains. So firstly, I'm just going to switch this to the double track loop, so we should be able to now reverse this dock shunter and ambulance car onto the main up line. Let's try and start it off. Yep, here we go. Now probably will hesitate a bit over the points because they're yet to be refurbished and these are a little bit tarnished. Not too bad. Okay, just remember to switch those back and let's get it going around the main up line. Moves off quite urgently, just over the branch line points, around the back of the layout. Past the Flying Scotsman, along the newly plated track. Okay, we're going to return this now back into the loop. So I'm going to operate these points and I'm just going to park it along there. Okay. Points set now for mainline running. And let's have the first use of our electrified points over here. So they're set for mainline. I'm going to set them now to the branch line. Right, let's start this English electric and freight train up. See if we can get a nice gentle start. Just takes up the tension. Moving away. Once it clears these points, I'll set them to the main line. Point set, so let's follow this round layout. Quite a nice long freight train we've got now. I've added in a couple of extra salt wagons at the front, extra aggregate wagon. Running quite nicely. I'm just going to slow this down a tad now. And when it passes the station, we'll start the Flying Scotsman up. So let's just get the English electric and freight through the station. And let's get this Flying Scotsman underway. So slowly, hopefully move away. Just moving away from the platform now. Great runner, this Tri-ang Flying Scotsman, and it's apple green, looks the business. Look at that, creeping over these junctions, slight hesitation, a little bit of wheel spin there even. Going around at a nice scale speed. So we've got 5 of those Teak coaches, a couple of horse boxes, good long train. So let's watch it come over those junctions again. We'll also see if we can catch a glimpse of the old glowing firebox. So past the dock shunter, over the first diamond, Firebox glowing nicely in the loco. Looks like there's a good fire going under that boiler. And away up along the newly plated track to the rear of the layout. Let's just wait here and watch the English Electric come through. It's a good place on the layout to watch the locos as they come round this nice curve. And here comes the Flying Scotsman. Both these locos running really nicely. Flying Scotsman building up speed now. We'll just move back to the other end of the layout and just give this passenger express a little more regulator. Nice noise those coaches make over all the junctions. Right, let's bring it in to the station. Slowing down now. So what we'll do now is we'll bring the English Electric to a halt and get it back on to the branch line. So we'll just switch these points here. Wrong lever, next one. There we go. And let's see if we can reverse this rake of wagons onto the up and over branch line. Just pushing up on the couplings now. Up by the other branch line with the little 060 parked up there. Just come to a halt. Set the points for mainline running. Open up the double track loop and reverse the dock shunter back onto the up main line. Just switch those. So we'll set this going now and restart the Flying Scotsman. Excuse me, slight slip there. Scotsman moving away. So I think we'll watch these two go around the layout, and that'll be it for this week's running session. See the headlight on the dock shunter there, running quite smoothly. And we'll wait for the Flying Scotsman to come round these third radius curves. Running very quietly. It's done quite a lot of work on the track, this particular model. It's nice to have it out again. Haven't used this for best part of 25 years. And here comes a little dock shunter. So for next week I'm hoping that I can get a few more points wired up and start getting the layout a little more operational. It's getting there slowly but surely. I'm really pleased with how it's going, and I'll let you know how I get on with the track screws when I start using them, and hopefully we'll run a few different locos. The other thing I will do is obviously keep working on a bit of track reconditioning, so I can keep adding in the plated superfork and get these main lines fully converted to the repurposed track. Okay. Well, thanks for looking in at the channel again, as I said at the start. I hope you can see the way the layout's starting to develop now, and I look forward to a little bit more progress which I can show in next week's video. So until next time, I'll say goodbye.